Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Headspace Podcast. This is the show where we break down newish hip-hop albums, track by track, give you our thoughts and opinions. My name is Holden Stephan Roy.
My name is Chris Chrome.
Today, we will be talking about Madchild, Demons. That's right, the artist is Madchild, the album is Demons. That's what we're going to be breaking down track by track, like I said. We're going to do the little intro bit right now, so if you want to skip that, you can check the description of the video to see the timestamps when we all start talking about shit. But before we get into anything, it is worth knowing that you person coming to this channel, watching this video, you are probably a bigger Madchild fan than we are. And I say that just to kind of contextualize it all, give you a little sense that we are on a journey to learn, to listen to these albums, to appreciate the culture as it kind of produces its music, and to to stay up with what's actually coming out that isn't maybe going to be so mainstream and looked at, but also to look at the art of the album in a world of singles, right? Because it's such a different experience. So that's a little bit about what we're trying to do here. But because of that, there's a good chance we may say something a little silly, or maybe it's not the best opinion due to lack of knowledge or experience. So that's where you, person watching this, can leave comments that other people coming to the video can see, so they can see you chastise us and correct us, and then join in on the fun as we get a little community of sharing good stories and whatnot. Yep. On that note, last week, we talked about the new Twisted album, Generation Nightmare, which I think is fucking stellar. And on that project, my favorite comment was absolutely from this dude from the past, or lady, I don't really know, I'm assuming based on the avatar. Twisted needs to bring nu metal back to life. Thank you. I keep saying it. Nu metal's the shit. People my age, we love nu metal. The older folk, they don't get it. The younger folk, they don't get it. It was a time thing. It was like disco. But it was our disco, and it was way doper. Phlegm and I think it's Siamese Amazements are flipping awesome. I agree. Excellent nu metal tracks. This genre should come back. It's about time for the return of nu metal. Can we do it? Can we bring that back together? Do you guys want to see that?
Be the change.
I want to see that.
Anyway, the change, Holden.
Thank you for that comment. I thought it was dope. So if you make that effort to leave a comment with us,
I'll read it.
I'll make that comment to answer you, and Chris might show up in about 6 months and be like, hey, I finally saw this comment.
I'm sorry, guys.
Before we jump into the episode, though, a special thanks to the patrons, Ismail Gadamsi, Jonathan Barnes, Chris Prado, DJ Black Hurricane, and Mr. Lindell Williams. We'll talk a bit about that at the end of the episode. And on that note, Chris, why don't you tell the Google algorithms and the fine folks, and any algorithm, what album are we reviewing today?
Well, for this Headspace review, we are doing Madchild, Demons.
That's right. So this is the part of the show where we describe our familiarity with the artist, because it makes such a huge difference. So you hearing Demons as a Madchild fan from back in the day, maybe a little Swollen Members fan, going through the career for the last 20-ish years and shit, you're going to feel a certain way about Demons. If you just discovered Madchild, you're going to feel a whole other way about Demons. So that's the part where we're going to talk about. Now, Chris, how much do you know about Madchild? Are you a fan?
I just technically discovered Madchild. I've heard of him. I've heard of his name, actually, kind of floating around on certain tracks or whatnot. People have talked about him in passing. But I've never actually sat down or made any effort to really kind of go out and go look for him. Was just never my thing. I apologize. But this is my first sit-down full review of a Madchild project.
So, I remember being a wee lad, maybe 12 or 13 years old.
A wee lad.
And I was watching Much Music. That's right, I'm from Canada. And this song came on, and it had this, swollen always brings it home, and it just kind of rolled on through. And then this random ass white dude appears in the video, and I'd never seen many white rappers at this time in my life, because it's still that era where it was important, back to some people. And then I discovered Madchild, and Prevail and the whole squad, and Swollen Members just blew up. And then I don't know. I definitely listened to a couple of the Swollen Members albums. Then they made the song with Nelly Furtado and shit. There was a lot of whatever. And then they disappeared. I know I ended up listening to the song Pressure. And at least for me, I did not spend a significant amount of time going through their music as much as I should have. On the other hand, I do think that I really appreciate their cultural significance. So one thing that I think is really worth noting just about Swollen Member's success, and I don't remember which song it was. It might have been Lady Venom or something like that, but before the internet and going viral and all of these things, the Swollen Members boys did something unheard of, really. They applied to the Junos, which is the Canadian Grammys, and they basically put their song in, and they were pretty unheard of at this point. And I looked it up. I'm planning on submitting something to the Junos next year because it's actually really not that expensive or hard to do, and why the fuck not, right? Because what's incredible is they won, and then kind of gained a whole lot of attraction, as the first time anybody really heard of them was through these Juno Awards, which launched up their career. And honestly though, so I haven't listened to much Madchild as a solo rapper since that whole period. I do know a fair bit about, I guess, some of the troubles he's been with and his involvements with certain organizations and some of the bigger turmoil in his life. So I've heard a bit about those stories and have some understanding of kind of his journey to where he got to at this point. He definitely lit up hip-hop with Snack the Ripper a couple years back, and that beef was totally interesting. But I know that I have not ever personally given Madchild a fair chance, but at the same time, since he's kind of left the Swollen Members squad and it was kind of the solo stuff, I actually don't know if Swollen Members is still a group. For all I know, they're still together. I mean, Prevail's on this project, so I mean, they're obviously still friendly, but I don't know what's up with that. Still, since that, like, let's say 2008-ish land, I have not really followed it, and I haven't had the highest interest either. Before my understanding and appreciation for hip-hop grew to what it was, I don't think I really understood why Madchild was dope. Either way, that's where I kind of was coming into this, just curious, right? Because, like, this guy is a legend in Canadian hip-hop, however you want to slice it, and well-deserved. I mean, I can't picture a time of me knowing music without really knowing who Madchild was as a rapper. You know, he's just part of the landscape of my life of knowing music, like with, you know, names like Cardinal Official and dudes like that. Anyway, the album cover is pretty fucking strong. It's got him kind of holding up the mic with these like broken ass, cringy looking angel wings out from his back. Kind of like this is a broken man who's kind of rising up in a phoenixy kind of way, and showing that despite what he looks like, there's still this person in him that is good, that wants to grow, and it's in front of this grungy ass cracked wall, and it just has like his Madchild logo. It says Demons on the bottom part. And I really think it sets you up a little bit for the album to let you know this is going to be personal, exploring maybe some of his experiences that led him to how he's feeling right now at this point in his life, his demons, and we're going to get some understanding of that shit. I don't know. I like it. Demons, obviously the shit that's haunting you, that kind of crap going on inside of your mind that makes you who you are. I like it. It kind of really did make me want to hear the project. I was kind of excited at this point.
Nice. I really like the color contrast between like the pink and the kind of like mauve, and not mauvish, but like shady pink at the top on the Madchild logo. Like it's I really enjoy that. I like the kind of shading through the shading overlap over the album. It's really kind of just gives that kind of misty effect, so that's awesome. Just kind of looking at him, I feel like you right away it speaks like we're gonna get thoughts, we're gonna get a lot of personal experiences, because he's kind of like holding his head, and I feel like he's kind of like restraining from crying, or at least kind of restraining from like, I don't know, maybe hearing a voice or like or whatever kind of like twisted thought he's got at the moment. He's just trying to kind of like block it out and kind of like save himself. So it is strong. I agree. I didn't forget it. Only reason is because this is like my second time reviewing this album, just in terms of how the weeks have been. So I kind of remembered it. Like, I remember coming back and I kind of still stared at it again, and I was like, you know what, this is something that does stand out in a way that kind of has its own flair for him. So.
Fair enough. But like a lot of albums in life, they start with a song that's 5 letters long in its title. INTRO. That spells intro. There's a 30-second like sample skit thing. He goes crazy, man. You know what? When he said the last time, I was kind of tripping, right? But now you're right. I'm crazy. But you know what else? I don't give a fuck. To me, this is like him maybe acknowledging how people perceive him, his reputation, some of the more drug-fueled choices that his life has made, some of the more abrasive behaviors, and he comes off like he's crazy, like he doesn't make proper choices and shit. Maybe prior to this point in his life, that might have set him off and whatnot, but now he's cool with it. He doesn't care if you don't like him. He doesn't give a fuck. He's ready for it. He's embracing the crazy that is him. It kind of comes off self-aware, but also like don't give a fuck. So it's like cool, but also responsible, which I don't know if it fully connects, but I think that's what you're going for with something like that. Either way, I have it a 4. It started us off. It was an intro. I could totally never hear it again and I'd be fine.
I feel like he's talking to the people, the haters, the people that are calling him crazy. I'm not disagreeing on the aspect of, you know, him accepting that he's got like issues or whatever it is. I feel like that's just point blank what the intro is clearly stating. But I also have this kind of like side feel to the song where he's kind of, I guess, gonna prove to everybody who thinks that he's crazy that he might actually be kind of like, you really view me this way, you really kind of talk like about me this way, well, let me show you what you guys have kind of been talking about. That's kind of how I interpret it. It also really sets you in a kind of cool way. It took me out of my reality. I like intros that do that and sets you up into the mood of the album. But it did, like, just that little 30-second intro, he did a nice job of kind of rebelling and kind of feeling
I just don't feel that the intro, I mean, I get that it was good in the sense of it communicated its idea really well. Mm-hmm. But it felt kind of cheap to me.
I'm not gonna say it didn't feel cheap, but I did kind of migrate from where my head was at and went to his.
Had it been a little bit of a build up, maybe more theatrics thrown into it, maybe it almost felt like you found a sample on the internet, YouTube to MP3, cut it over. Thank you. We're done. Pay the sample rights to use it. Let go. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there are some subtle nuances that were added that I didn't really appreciate, but as far as an intro goes, it does its job, but adequately. I didn't say it's very distinct or whatever. Nah, I like the way the next track starts. That to me, the album should start just come in with the next song. Don't need this little intro. That's my opinion, but it's not bad either. It's not like my senses are being offended and this is awful to listen to. I feel like it does its job, but it kind of cheapens the album a little bit. That's my thoughts. Anyway, the next one though. It is a real song. It's a little bit longer than 30 seconds. And it describes a process that when you kind of have ideas that are coming out of your mind.
Okay, we're going to go brainstorm
and
now.
Storming, and you draw a little cloud and you put the associations. That's how you brainstorm. So this guy is produced by Rob the Viking, who, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the main producers affiliated with the Swollen members. I don't know if he was in the group or the entire time, or if he was in the group for a while, but I know he was definitely in the group at a certain point.
Nice.
So I thought that was cool. Like I said, it's cool to see him playing with familiar names and overall sounds, I guess. Oh man, I don't know. How do you feel about this one, Chris?
This is the one that I felt like it looked like he kind of did his job in terms of the first song. He comes out strong. He kind of introduces who he is. And right off the bat, I'm the all-seeing, high-being creature of the North Star, Dark Force, Family Warsaw with scars, War scars. Oh, I wrote that wrong. Extraterrestrial, a short beast, war chief. Now that I'm home, causing more grief. I like how he came in and he just did it, and the wordplay was really cool.
I have to give him some props just on that rhyme flow. North Star, Dark Force, Family War. It's not the most common one, right? Everyone seems to be anybody can take the Asian sound and rhyme that for days, or the iggity kind of ibbity, the belittle, the bitter, that kind of shit. You can go for fucking days on it because there's so many sounds. But to actually rhyme North Star with Dark Force is not an easy thing to do properly, and he makes it sound smooth.
Fair enough. I felt like this was just kind of flashy, heavy bars, though. but also kind of saying something. In verse 2, he goes, I'm in the mood to work, not in the mood to play. I'm never putting off tomorrow what I could do today. That's actually pretty, like, very smart, very knowledgeable. Like, if you can do it now and it takes, what is it, like less than 10 minutes or something, less than 5 or something, just get it done. Like, get it out of the way, move forward to the next action. So that's actually a really cool advice that he's kind of putting out there. So that was awesome. I like how he has this feeling of living in the moment, kind of being very present about and aware of like who he is and what he's doing. So that was cool. I like how in verse 3 he was like, right now I'm at 3 trying to get to level 10. Other local rappers worried about their parties and their friends. I kind of relate a little bit to that line. Like, a lot of my friends lately just want to kind of go out, party, do their own thing. And I'm, with the podcast and making more projects and music, you kind of tend to stay home a little bit more and focus on achieving your goals and wanting to, live, I guess, a different type of life. So that was something I really related to, which I enjoyed. Overall, the song was cool, but it was just cool to me. I left it with a 4.
So I feel like the first thing that I noticed about this track is how old school it felt. Like, it felt like Madchild was not going to be coming in here to reinvent the wheel with like new sounds right off the jump. It's like, this is maybe what he knows best. So he's coming in with like that something for the older fans who, got to keep in mind for how long he's been in the game. I can't imagine like a bunch of 20-year-olds are Madchild's fan base. I mean, he's probably got 20-year-olds, but I can't imagine. I bet there's like a wider array of people who like lyrical hip-hop who follow this guy. So just the way he comes in, I already commented a bit on it, but he keeps like this constant flow. It's not the fastest, it's not the trickiest, but I feel like he focuses on making sure that he's saying something as he's going through it. It isn't maybe like the most riveting philosophical endeavor, but it is cohesive in a way, like can't help it. I'm self-destructive when I rip myself apart. That's when I'm self-productive. It's fucked up when I say I fucked up again, falling on my face and I get back up again. Guess I'm addicted to the suffering. And it's almost like I keep making mistakes, but I keep grinding at it. But this cycle kind of fuels my artistic drive, and I'm not maybe the best at life or whatever, but flowing into that dry as fuck chorus, it's fine, but it's just lyrically unloading. Thoughts so hot they're exploding. Your style so old it's corroding. Right like Capote, high on peyote. Eyes popping like I'm Wile E. Coyote. And I just feel like it's like, just his voice was not the most enthused on this chorus. It didn't enthuse me. It's fine. It was well done. And the point is, he in my city, on my side of the country, I'm the greatest. That's it. Point blank, flat out, no debating. And I realized he's from Vancouver. I don't know a single rapper better than Madchild in the eyes of people from Vancouver. You got it. You got that crown, I promise. I'm not even fighting you for that shit. I'm East Coast. You can claim the West Coast. It's fine. You know what I'm saying? But on the real, if I had to talk about Canadian rappers from Vancouver that anybody I know has ever heard of, it's going to be Madchild. And that's it. And Swollen Members, which he's part of. So it's kind of hard, Whereas on the East, you got Classified. And then Toronto has Drake.
And Tory.
And I guess Ottawa has Dax now. You know what city doesn't have anybody? I come from the 514. Woo! Montreal. Anyway, we don't have a lot of rappers from our city that have popped.
We have Husser.
Who?
Nate Husser.
You're right. That is a guy.
Adam 22.
You're right. I've heard of him.
Yeah, like he's
we got a guy.
The posters.
I don't know who that is.
That's his group.
Okay, so we moving on. We got some Montreal love out there. Anyway, so he's right about that. And you know what I really appreciate is he sets up the song like that. Like, I do my thing. I'm fucking, the North is me, etc. And it feels like he's staying true to himself. And then in that second verse, it's kind of like, I gotta work. I don't have time to play no more. I'm just here to do what I gotta do, even though there's temptations and shit. Weekends here, everyone's having fun and doing all these drugs, and I kind of want to be sticking my cock into the mouths of all these girls. I mean, I heard that line and I was like, I get it. He's kind of like saying, I wish these, like, all of these fine girls were just sucking me off, but instead, I'm gonna focus and get the work done. And I thought to myself after being a little bit of a critical dick, and I said, no, that's the most human shit ever. Have you never gone out and been like, to the males out there watching this, which is like 98% of you, have you ever just wanted to like have that play out? And then you're like, yeah, but no responsibilities and stuff. I'm like, damn it, he's just saying the shit sometimes we all think. Third verse, same kind of shit, just flowing on through. And I really just appreciated the fact that it kind of came in and he just rapped his ass off and it was fine. I gave the song a 4.25. I thought it was like this tenacious lyrical onslaught that reminded me of an older time, but was done really well. Everything is super clear and crisp. His rap is great. I kind of wish the hook was a little hookier, but at the same time, I mean, this is a proper song. Like, it's good. It's not 100% like engaging to me, but if you're into that sharp, more battle-driven lyrical type shit, I think that his like self-awareness mixed with his tenacity is pretty fucking cool here.
Nice.
Anyway, do you have more to say on this one?
Nope.
Well, guess who died? The actor who played Chewbacca, which is really sad, and it really is. He passed away, but he was the partner of Han Solo. My thoughts on this song were, this is a lot of what I just heard. I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean, as like a commenting, I don't know what this is like a less good version of the last song to me. I'll be honest with you. At this point, when I was reviewing the album, I got really kind of like, oh shit. I don't think I'm liking what Shane's writing here 100%. The feel like young Han Solo, gold rings, Han Solo, rollie on my wrist, plaid polo, rollie on my wrist, plaid. I'm like again, he has that like flat voice in his hook.
There has to be a reason to it. Like, I'm sitting here like, okay, no, this can't be lacking energy. Like, he kind of gives off this like high energetic feel to himself. He has this illusion that he's this like, you know, crazy thing. So I'm sitting here like, this is slightly lacking some type of
and then the beat. So again, not to be like again negative, because I really don't want to be negative. I just have to be honest, right? The beat's like dun 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 dun, and it just kind of like when you have that kind of low end beat, we'll say, you gotta have something a little more like in your delivery, is my opinion, right? And that's what I would like out of it. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he came at it with this like calm and basic, not to say basic in a bad way, but like really simpler, not too tricky, constant flow. Like overload of rap, overqualified, unleash a quick 16, that's a homicide, goldfish to a whale, I'm a razorback, you ain't a killer, you a pussy playing laser tag. The lyrics, if we're talking about the writing, is tight, it flows, it does everything it's supposed to do. I'm talking about the delivery over this beat.
But I mean, I think that's what I gave credit to him for, was I didn't really care for the lyrics that much after I heard it the first time, but on the second time around, I was like, okay, I like how you're placing it. I like how you're following the 1, 2, 3 thump of the drum. I like how you're, you know, trying to be a little bit diverse in how you're flowing with the track. So that's cool, I guess, in a way, because like the last song is practically the same thing, almost lyrically, but it's a different type of.
Was like a little more upbeat, and I felt
but I
like
think
there was
that's
a little
it.
bit more
He's trying
to
to
it.
show. I think he's trying to show like this is my diversity. Like this is what I'm like. I can do this type of stuff.
And I
too.
appreciate that. But then, like, world's gone to hell, but I'm optimistic. Every verse I disperse is apocalyptic. I am making money, but I stay in the trenches. Bunch of bullshit out, but I'm paying attention. My demons, I don't want to battle them no more, so I wrestle with myself through the shadow on the floor. And I'm actually really related to that shit. You know, the focus and his desire to, like, overcome the darkness and, like, to push on through. And even comparing yourself to, like, a more rebellious dark figure, like, bad guy turned good, like a Han Solo, etc., is still pretty cool. It's really the rollie on my wrist plaid polo part that really kind of was like, oh man, I'm not really into the hook of this one that much. That's just me on this hook. His delivery on the verses is fine. I feel like everything's just fine on this song. The writing is good. I really do like the writing. I think Madchild's a really good writer, and even this far in, I realized like he has bars. He's able to like really put like misguided misfits, just lighting incense, just writing exciting lines that are intense. For instance, you know, you just picture a bunch of fuck ups smoking some reefer, lighting up the incense, spitting bars, you know, ciphering around the situation. And he's actually really good at this. But damn, I just had so much trouble getting into this song, so I give it a 4. It's good, but it's maybe one of my least favorite songs I've reviewed in like a long time in terms of catching my interest. Not to say it's bad, just that I don't like it.
It's a 4. I kind of agree. I think that I don't this isn't a song I'm gonna run to. Play it on the album, you know, if I'm gonna sit down and play the album and do whatever, I might not skip it, but this isn't the song that I'm gonna be like, oh whoa, we gotta stop everything and bump it quick. Like it didn't have that captivating feel to it as much. The last song did. Like, the last song had some type of, okay, I'll listen to this, you know, every once and now and then, but not this. But I am giving it a 4 because I do appreciate his, again, diversity, his skill, and the way he can, like, rhyme in his lyrics.
The writing's great.
Yeah, the writing is on point.
And I bet if he delivered it just different, I'd like it a lot more. Anyway, basically, that means to stop doing stuff. And basically, that means to... The next song's called Demons. It's the title track. Basically, this is it. I went from like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm going to like this album very much. The fans are going to be so mad at me and shit. And then he just shut me the fuck up. Because like that beat, it's more upbeat. You're like vibing to that. Like that... Whatever.
Chimes,
you know what I'm trying to say.
The chimes kind of coming in and out and like increasing in tone.
Even just the lyrics, like right off the jump, man. Yo, I can't help it that my brain broke. Silver Surfer spitting liquid mercury. I chain smoke, back to making moves, rapping till my veins pop. Because you ain't running shit if you're standing in the same spot. I'm like, oh. So he made a Marvel reference. That's fucking cool. And, you know, Silver Surfer, Liquid Mercury, it's a connected line. It's really good. He's fucking chain smoking. You can feel the stress, the anxiety in him. He's back to making moves, rapping and focusing. He's like, aight. And then he's dropping some wisdom about moving forward in life. And I'm like, okay. Madchild's bringing shit forward a little bit, in my opinion. So he's out here killing verses like you just hired an assassin. When I was young, I did a lot of psychedelic drugs. You're saying that it has to end one day. I'm like, the hell it does. And you're like, okay. So he's being real honest about where the fuck he's coming from, the perspective of like how he ended up doing all these drugs, and you gotta stop, keep my fucking head straight and drop all the dead weight and keep creating segues and moving on. You know. So my rider dies, my friend, my family, and my parents, and now I'm back, fully focused, no more interference. And he's kind of pulling it out. I had that life. Wasn't real working. Now I realize who my real friends and family and the people who care about me are, leading to a hook that, again, it's equally delivered as flat, but in this case, it kind of really, really fucking works because he's going, basically, that means to stop doing pills. Basically, that means to stop blowing bills. Basically, that means stop doing rails. In case you kids didn't know. That's the cocaine. Doing some rails of coke. I guess it would be more like, because it's a rail like lined up. I've never done coke, so I wouldn't really know from like a first-hand experience kind of way. But so when we were talking about Snack the Ripper, because we did that, I misinterpreted a whole song about cocaine.
And the worst part was
Chris is like,
said it in the song at the end.
And then Chris looks at me and he goes, "You know the song's about coke, right?" And then it was like a funny enough moment that Snack the Ripper decided to make fun of me on Instagram Live. I loved it because we got a lot of views. Thanks, Snack the Ripper. Chris looks so fucking cool. So I wanted to let the people know because, I mean, it's hard for me to not connect Snack the Ripper and Madchild. I watched them beef. They're connected. And so since the same people who watched that review might watch this one, I wanted you to know that I knew that rails was coke. And stop doing shit where you get thrown in jail. Which in Canada probably includes coke, no? I don't know if doing coke...
No, we can only legally smoke weed if you buy it from, you know, the government store.
And not
Every
even...
other drug will get us in jail.
Honestly, you can't even smoke in public in Montreal illegally anywhere. Anyway,
well, downtown.
No, you gotta be 9 meters away from an open door or window. There's nowhere in the city in public that's 9 meters away from a fucking door or window. I don't know what 9 meters is in feet. I guess it's 3 times that or something. Or maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's 3 times as many feet.
Listen, I know my spots at DT.
That's fine. Anyway, so then he's like really honest with us. Again, there's a reason I'm not playing all the festivals. I was popping Xanax, sitting around like I'm a vegetable, mixing shit with
Which
alcohol. You really get lit.
I wanted
All I
to
did was
comment on that.
watch a lot of movies, smoking cigarettes, but now I gotten sick of it. You know?
It's interesting how like he's kind of going like, I can't do these certain festivals or make this check or be able to do this because I am not able to not take these drugs.
It's because when I used to take these drugs and I was invited to these festivals, I would sit around like a fucking zombie, zonked out of my mind, like not behaving or socializing or playing the game. So it's like now nobody wants to invite me to this shit because I'll burn my chances.
Oh. I took it as more of like a self-aware, as in like he's trying to change himself, or like that's what he did to kind of get over, you know.
It's like he did that, and now he's being self-aware that the reason he's not playing these festivals and he's not being invited on the tours is because of his past actions and shit. Anyway, he just kind of flows into like, I have to live right and focus, and then, you know, he was sober for 28 months, fell off the wagon, he got back on it, left one foot dragging. He's been struggling. He hasn't done dope, but he's not necessarily afraid to get a little liquored up and have some, you know, whatever. He's fucked with some coke, but I don't know. He started taking Xannies, having a few more beers, but he's trying to get his life back and battle the demons. And I think I really appreciate the fact that he's being so honest with us about his situation, about the fact that this is like this battle and how he's tried really hard and he's not something he's winning with per se, but he has new limits and he's setting new boundaries, and at least the victories he's had in his life count because it's his life and it matters to him. And all of those things I thought were super dope. I gave the song a 4.35. I think it's the best one I've heard on the project so far, and I really enjoyed it.
For me, I gave it a 4.2. What I actually really like is the interpolation of the hook. It's cool because it's not just self-aware, but I feel like the fans that listen to it that might be going through the same thing are taking that like blunt raw message and just like, shit, I gotta do this. Like it's just that in your face that it's just super powerful to me.
All right, so like I said, the more the album went on, the more I enjoyed shit. And I really like the next one. Let's talk about Watergate. You know, Richard Nixon, he had this whole scandal. You know what I'm talking about, right? The Watergate scandal with Richard. Come on, Chris, Watergate.
I mean,
Watergate, yes.
Do
you know what Watergate is? Okay, we'll talk about Watergate. Allow me to be very clear. The music videos on this album are not my favorite. So the last one for Demons, which we forgot to talk about, had him in like a hotel room without a shirt with like this, I'm assuming to be a escorty type lady just around him. Maybe it's his girlfriend. I don't really know. But it seemed like a really weird video for the subject matter of the song. I'm not going to lie. This one had a lot of ladies singing along and then Madchild rapping. There's just a lot of women in his videos that don't really serve any plot device other than being attractive females in the video.
How does that not fit? I thought the song was just like he's shutting shit down and he's like killing shit.
What does that have to do with all these random ass women?
Well, I mean, he's killing shit, so he's got fly women with him. And he just has to like.
Again, doesn't that seem like a bit of the weird backwards message from what we've been hearing on the project? Maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but I thought he was talking about not having his cocks in all the most of the ladies because he's working hard.
But not like that. I'm just saying like, you know, in the aspect of being, let's say, king shit, right? Like you're on top, I'm the best rapper and stuff. Like you're kind of just appealing to what the best rappers are. They got women, they got this, they got that.
Ooh. This is not pop music. You know, like I don't really understand how that argument makes sense. I think really what it is he's like girls in the video, guys are gonna watch it. And you know what? There's probably some truth in that shit. But I really like it because you know who doesn't do the dry hook thing here? Madchild doesn't. Instead, we got that. You're making me feel crowded. If you seek me, keep your head down. I'm gonna let you hear it loud. Yeah. So tell me, baby, how's it sounding? Do you need me to say it slowly? Because I can see that you think we're homies. Stop telling people that you know me. You don't know me.
I think that's the wrong hook.
Oh, this is for Watergate with the girl. And then it's a really long hook for the intro.
Oh,
she does like two verse thingies.
Okay,
and
yeah,
then, like,
you're
the
at
hook.
the intro. My bad.
Oh, you're right. There's an intro verse thingy, and then there's the
Yeah,
hook. So
'cause-
call the valet. I want to see you drive away. Hell no, I can't wait. Shutting shit down like Watergate.
Yeah.
Shutting shit down. Shutting shit down. It's just hype. And
It
the beat,
is.
and the beat's fucking hype. And her voice is fucking. I don't know who it is. I couldn't figure out who the girl was. Her voice is fucking hype. It's really good, and it's just like. It's like a minute of this intro and she's just vibing and she sounds like amazing, and you got this like fuck off, I'm on that real shit, everybody's trying to be all up in my business, everybody's trying to be like friends with me and shit, and you know he's kind of a jaded person right now, and I just thought it fits so well with everything we've been listening to. Then he starts rapping like, I'll be on that real shit, I'll be on that trill shit, make another meal quick, I'll be on that kill shit, supercharged bar stat, work
flashy.
with no hot hat, welcome to LA, bitch, you could get carjacked. I'm over that beat, and the way he's flowing, I'm like, holy shit, this is good. Like, this isn't just like, good, I'm gonna have to try to justify it to the fans. No, this is like, I'm like vibing to this, I'm fucking bouncing off of this. Lyrically, he doesn't make love songs or rap about strip clubs, but might have a stripper-looking lady in the hotel room with him in the video. Okay. Labyrinth of statement, savage with the placement. I ain't into hippie shit. I'm ravenous with hatred. It's just fucking hard. It's just like heavy-hitting. I don't know. It's not like anything is like absolutely like next level in my opinion. It's mostly just a really great vibe, you know? Like, I find his bars to be very consistent. You know, like, back to conquer like a massive monster. You don't have to dress like a pussy to be fashion conscious. It's not a very progressive line, Shane. It's not very Canadian of you, Shane. That's not what we're like up here in Canada, Shane. No, but for real, like, come on. Andre 3000 dressed a little frilly. We all fucking loved it, okay? It's not exactly like it's new that jazz... Yeah. I hate the fact that we ignore parts of history when we want to make fun of people. Make a whole flock of birds of a feather fall, continually smack you in the face like a tether ball. I ain't harsh and raw, more than partial flaws. Now I'm shutting shit down like it's martial law. Overall, I think this is as good as any of the really well-written, I'm a dope rapper, and here I'm going to prove it with my bars type rapping that we've ever gotten. Is it absolutely next level? No. Is it really enjoyable to listen to? Fucking right it is. This might be my favorite song on the project so far for reals. I gave it a 4.75. It's really hype. But a lot of it is the beat and the hook being that so vibey, and then he comes in and fills it out proper and like lays it up. So I like it.
On the hook, I know it's So Call the Valet, but for some reason I hear Welcome to LA.
Okay.
And I feel like that's part of the song where he's kind of like introducing when he got to LA, or when he kind of started like...
Is he in LA now? I couldn't like figure... I mean, he says it like 4 times on the project, so I assume he's no longer in Canada.
Right? So I think that's part of why...
That's why he's so against men dressing like women, because he's no longer in Canada. Come back to Canada, Shane. Get you on, Chris.
So I really enjoy that, and I like how how So Call the Valet kind of sounded to me like Welcome to LA, and how they did that kind of sounding there. So that was cool. But the song still kind of holds its own. It's nice. It's hype. It's got some life. I like the girl on the chorus, on the hook. But the bars are like Holden said. They're consistent. They're kind of not the same identical bars, but they follow suit with the I'm spitting dope boy, I'm in the back house dope boy, like I'm holding violet crack in my mouth, give me your mic, sign that.
Savage.
Like it's dope. It's dope. I apologize if I sound like I'm trying to like belittle or kind of take away from the bars. I mean, I don't want to. They're lyrically, he's got things to say, and he puts words together in this nice, I'm not gonna say perfect, but this nice way, and it's cool. Left it with a 4.
Well, sometimes you sit there and you look at the clock and you realize that with every passing second, not even like, just already times changed, right? Just already in this conversation, times changed.
I think they got it.
Again, time. Tris, allow me to be abundantly clear. You simply cannot get to know me in 5 minutes enough to know that I'm being an asshole in anything, okay? Just because maybe I was having a real bad day in some shit, and I wasn't like really able to, I wasn't able to smile well enough for you. And I didn't give you the right answer. And the next thing you know, you and your motherfucking friends think I'm an asshole, and are talking shit about how I don't even need your fans up on the fucking internet and stuff.
Wait. Okay, did you and my motherfucking friends get into something that I don't know about?
No, that's what the third verse is about.
Oh.
That's what he literally. So what I'm saying is, if change, you couldn't be the same. People come up in the club asking me questions. If I don't have the right answers, that's the lasting impression. You don't understand. It's a lot of pressure.
For a second, I thought this was like a real thing.
Then you tell all your friends that Madchild's conceited. We ain't supporting him no more. I guess that he don't need it. I'm not evil people. I treat everyone as equal. I might have had a bad day. And he said, literally, it was all from that third verse. Everything I just said there.
Third verse didn't really stick with me that much.
Well, now you know what the fucking third verse is about. People like that. So like the first verse is kind of like, you know, he grinds his way up, and you know he's driving around and the touring, and he's fucking all the girls, and everything's exciting as they got this young life, and they're getting drunk and they're smoking and they're getting all whatever. And then times change. I know that I'm strange. What's wrong with my brains? I'm just trying to keep it together. Asshole. I was such an asshole. That was in the past. I'm just trying to keep it together.
Which I like, and I like how he's and the honesty that he's portraying on this project so far is cool and very, I guess, in a way, kind of relatable when you're going through growth, change, and when you're kind of accepting who you are or who you were at a time. That's something that is standing out, that I think he's trying to drive that theme home.
Or like you take that second verse when he's like, I tried to stay grounded and found people found that I was down to earth. It sounds worse than it was, but I'm not the first to admit that I'm the worst when I'm buzzed. And it's unfortunate because I was drunk for every show. Was it fun? I'll never know. I don't remember too much, but I know I love what I do, so I'm gonna never give up. Anyway, we all know life has peaks and valleys. Trying to reach my second peak. That's why I'm going back to Cali. So that's an interesting little part, right? Because you can just picture him being trashed all the time. Nobody really likes him when he's drunk because he's a fucking asshole. And the worst part is like, can you imagine being a super successful? You gotta understand, like, Swollen Members was fucking really big for a while. Right. All over. Like, I think they're one of the 10% of Canadian rappers that were making money at that time. I mean, I assume based on, you know, the overall fame. You know, they got Nelly Furtado. They were not doing terrible, right? Is she Canadian? I don't actually know where she's from. Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is then he goes through this whole thing and then ends it up on this Biggie reference. Like, I'm going back to Cali. I'm going to, like, reconnect. For some reason, he's going to Cali to reconnect or whatever. Either way, he's trying to change his life around and get some next things. And it's that whole third verse where it's like, come on, people, give me a chance. Try to understand it. And it's like, look, I know I have my reputation. I know that, like, I made a lot of really shitty mistakes, but I'm trying to be something different. I'm trying to be something better. I'm trying to be something more interesting. And
actually, Nelly Furtado is from Victoria, British Columbia.
Oh, that makes sense. That's right. Nelly Furtado is also dope. I am like a bird. I want to fly away. I don't know where my home is. Okay, if y'all know that song's fire. But, like, then she got really pop, and I really liked her better when she was folky. I don't know.
Oh, she's Portuguese and Canadian.
All right. She was so fine. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I really dug this song. I feel like Times Change has this, like, really nice feel to it. I feel like this is, like, where I'm going to call, like, this is the peak of where the album more or less sits. This is, like, it's good music. It's not exceptional in the sense that, like, I feel like it can compete in that pop sphere. As far as the underground guys go, I'm not seeing, like, next level, like, innovations. But what I am finding is hyper honest, passionate skill. And I think that I can really appreciate that because you really feel Madchild is 100% legitimate, but also talking about things that not a lot of people do. Like, he's kind of like, yo, I lived that life everyone else is selling as dope, and look what it did to me. And I think that's kind of a cool perspective to have in 2019.
Nice. Taking away from, like, his own personal experience and how he's expressing it, I like how he's making this song in a way to his, like, I guess, fans or the people that stumble upon it or listen to it, in a way kind of expressing how life goes. I like his wisdom, and he's just trying to tell people, like, dude, things change. People grow. You're supposed to, you know, go through your mistakes. You're supposed to have your ups and downs. You're supposed to do that. And that's very kind of, like, you know, mature of him and wise, and using his personal experiences with whatever drugs, narcotics, parties, or however troubles he may have had. That's kind of how he's relating to the people, and that was really cool. It has this uplifting feeling to it that I really kind of got, and just this realistic view on, guys, things happen, things change, and you learn from them, and you continue moving on. Overall, the song got a 4.2 for me. I thought it was pretty good.
All right. Well, run, Forrest, run. We got a motherfucking death race up in this bit stuff. I don't like to say the B word as much anymore. Allow me to be clear. I'll happily quote the B word when somebody else says it. I was talking about for myself, okay? This is a hype beat from Rob the Viking. It is a hype It is one of the hypest beats on the project, in my opinion.
Yep.
All right, Chris, do you like this song? Do you think it's sexy and fun to listen to?
I think it's hype and very flashy. I like how he's flexing on this and kind of just flowing with the track. I like in verse 2 when he was like, the way I rap would think I got a power pack. Everything I split is wet. Everything I spit is wet. I get a shower cap. I'm getting old midday. Take a power nap. Give me a motherfucking beat. I'll devour that. Now I like his real rawness of, yeah, I'm gonna go take a power nap. Like acknowledging that he may need to recharge, acknowledging where he kind of is in his life, and that it's a little bit different and not as easy to maybe put in that grind or work hard into what he's trying to do. That he needs to take some step back and slow down. Also, I mean, even that like ideology, you know, from what we've understood, he's done drugs, he's done certain things. So like at this point, this also kind of ties in, like he's at a point now where he can't really go as hard anymore. And that realization and being able to kind of express that on the track was really, really cool for me. I overall like the technique he uses on this track. I like how he's bouncing around with that like techno-ish, gamey sound, type of up and down type beat. So that was really, really cool. This had more life to it for me. This had more of an adventurous feel. So I enjoyed that. 4.2.
All right. Why don't we talk about a little interlude? It's
Did you
called
not
My
like
Turn.
the song? Or did you even talk about it?
Did I not talk about it?
I don't think you even talked about it before we continue.
Damn. Sorry about that, people. You can tell my brain's not here at the moment. So, in the first verse, I can tell what everyone around me is thinking. Will he ever go back to the drugs and drinking? I can see why people would be thinking that. Will he ever go back to the hoes and sluts? Of course everyone's thinking you will. You just did the fucking videos with all those girls and stuff around. If you really don't want people to think that, that's what I was trying to imply earlier with the Demons video. Will he ever start walking around like he knows too much? Will he ever go back to the games and start making videos with strippers while he's singing Bang Bang? Maybe, because he's fucking did the one with the video. Anyway, had not in this lifetime, I guarantee that. I was being stupid as fuck, and now I see that. I'm not saying that the girls in the videos that he did this are the hookers and hoes, because he's saying that he didn't do that and he's not with the hoes and sluts. He does say on another song that he's getting head from hookers, though. So I'm just... Maybe that one was a comedic song and it wasn't meant to be serious. I'm just calling stuff as I see it on the album, okay?
Yeah.
He doesn't wait to see the people's feedback. He put that shit on everything. He'll never have a relapse. Look, I'm not trying to diminish that. I really believe Madchild's on a straight and narrow, though, and he's doing his stuff proper. I just thought it was kind of a weird thing to point out. I like this one, Hook. What up, though? I'm just staying in my lane. Here to finish what I started. Got my head back in the game.
Yep.
And I was like, okay, this is a hook I can vibe to. I can bump to. It's got like a groove to the way he's going through it. And overall, as far as the lyrics go, it's again on this process of Madchild maybe exploring some of the demons of his past, some of the things that make him as he is. I kind of like when he goes, but my rhymes are fucking dirty like the ODB, how many people down with the OPP. And when he says that, like the beat kind of shifts into this like classic feeling sound right there. I thought that was really, really dope. And overall, I feel like this track is really good to listen to. It's a 4.5 on 5 for me. I think it's actually got a stellar rhythm to it, like a little more upbeat. Like he's actually going faster, quicker, and it really flosses and it really fits with this beat. And I think that it's a really easy sell to convince most people that this is a really hype song that's totally worth listening to, in my opinion. It's just, I mean, I'm not 100% certain. I like the Make You Bleed Supreme Red, rapping with a clean head. I'm like a batter to hell ready, because I just don't like Supreme. But I like it overall. How
like
he,
the brand?
Yeah, I don't like Supreme the brand. It's a fucking trash-ass, capitalistic, pointless fucking brand. Really, if you rock, not to insult anybody, but if you rock Supreme, Like, I just don't feel like you'd like me in life. That's my honest feelings to people who
there
are
goes
Supreme.
my online wish list.
Well, you can wear all the Supreme you want.
Oh no, not if I'm gonna. Not
If you want to spend like $8,000 to buy a newspaper, go right ahead and do it. I mean, there's a Supreme cover of the New York Times. Anyway, I like this guy, man. Classy, like the Waldorf game, like a ball court. That's fucking dope right there. 4.5 on 5. This is actually a really cool song. Like I tried to do a bit earlier, I'm going to talk about how it's my turn, ironically, is this interlude. So this is like another cut where, again, I don't know what it's from. Maybe this is some like stupidly famous thing that like everybody's heard of.
Who is that actor? He's a famous actor.
I still don't know what it's from. I still can't place it. Still. It's just, okay, from here on, nothing goes down unless I'm involved. A nickel bag gets sold in the park, I want in. You guys got fat while everyone's starving on the streets. It's my turn. And it just kind of ends. And I like the use of this because it communicates well in the sense of him maybe looking at the rap game right now, him being an OG type, he's ready to come back in, take his claim type shit, and he's willing to just roll with it. But again, my main criticism of this is that it's in, like, the same vein as the intro. It's cool, but it just feels like you went to YouTube to MP3 and like clipped it and like stuck it on the album, and that's a 4 on 5 for me. It works, but I don't know that I appreciate it as much as I would if like it felt like more effort was put into it.
It's okay. I mean, I feel like he's just whining with it a little bit. Like, everybody's out here been eating, y'all didn't share, nah. And it's just like, but is that, I kind of just feel like, but is that really everyone else's fault that you're not eating or getting a piece of the pie? Just my own opinion. Not to bag on him, not to shit on him. Like, I do totally respect what he does, and he's fucking good. Like, I'm not taking that away from him. I'm just like, the way I took this interlude, I was like, but is it really anyone else's fault that you're not eating? In the term that he's using.
I mean, maybe.
I don't know. I just feel like maybe, you work harder, you do something, you invest in different other things, you stop fucking around, as you told us. I think it's kind of
looking at like the institution or the game in a sense where everybody's kind of like doing the same thing or making some carbon copy. This shit's been working and certain people have been profiting, but everybody else is kind of
like
hungry.
The industry plants type thing, and everybody's
like
just...
you gotta all be like this certain sound and this certain thing. I mean, I related to music industry or just entertainment in general, but I took it more like Madchild's returning to like maybe bring some integrity back to the game. It's more what I took from that. I still think it's lazy. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, you know it's not lazy? The next song, which had effort and a beat and raps and everything fucking put into it. It's called Dreaded Force.
Oh, the dude's name is Christopher Walken.
Okay, so it's Christopher Walken. That's dope. Dreaded Force. Chris, time waits for no man unless you are the Rock. I don't understand that line. Can somebody please explain to me why the time waits for the Rock? Is that because it's like the prison, the Rock? Or are we talking about that if you smell what the Rock? That Rock. Like, I don't know which Rock.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Yeah. I thought it would be more fun.
Was he in a movie that has to do with, like, time?
I don't know, but there's also, like, the prison with, but then there's a man is the Rock. I got so confused by that line and I didn't understand what it really, really meant. That's okay.
I mean, maybe he's making a reference to the old school prisons where they had to, like, chip at rocks in due time?
Anyway, like, this one just kind of, I really like to catch a hot flash like a bitch on menopause line. I was, like, thinking about it, and I'm like, actually, it's pretty fucking, like, it's pretty apt, man. You get caught up in the rage of a moment ready to go, like a biological phenomenon that happens to ladies, showing some awareness and whatnot. Everywhere I go, I get an applause, so you'd better pause, jaws that'll crush your head of draws like I'm a dreaded farce. So I get the feeling that in this track, Madchild is going to be an ill rapper that can murk you. It's been crucial from the start. Life was brutal without heart. Nothing's beautiful without my dark and mutinous remarks. But at the same time, like, I want to be like critical or make fun of it in any kind of way. But no, that's actually really powerful. Like, he's had a hard life and he's coming through. And with his dark perspective, it's really like something, you know. Harsh demanded sentences. I vent, resent authority. Formerly a king, now broken. Normally feel horribly. It's easy leaving people spreading evil and disease. Please believe the devil's reach is still as lethal as I please. Flows on through. And like, I don't know. I thought it was pretty strong. It's just another verse of like him kind of looking at his mistakes, his past, and kind of being reflective while pointing out he's real and dope. And then ending it on a strange one. Okay, I'm ironclad, obey the giant man, KKK, I'll take on an entire clan.
Hey.
I mean, okay, that's a weird one. Like, I get where you're coming from. It's an anti-KKK line. It's still a weird pun to me. But it's okay. It's totally fine. I'm a weirdo. I don't think that my perspective counts all that much anyway.
I didn't feel that type of shit was that strong.
It's a fine hook, and it's a fine beat, and it all works together for, like, the style of it is. But it's got, like, some fun lines, like, fucking turn it all around for this crazy dude, take my pants off and jacket, blink, and do a 182. And I'm like, that actually, because take off my pants and jacket is actually an album we reviewed on this channel. I love it. It's a great album. Blink and do a 182. And the fact that he referenced one of my favorite Blink albums in such a creative way is pretty fucking cool. Landed on this planet from a UFO, my cape song, feeling like my life's the Mr. Lonely song from Akon. And I'm like, these are references I understand, because he's old and he's not making young people none of this shit's new, so it's all good to me. Anyway, and it's just, or put a gas mask on, I'm in a psycho realm. I don't think Chris understood that one, but we reviewed the Psycho Realm and their first album with the gas mask on it, and the Psycho Realm's fucking mad dope.
I did the thumbnail.
So the overall, you didn't listen to the album, so you don't know how dope they are.
But I knew the reference.
All I'm trying to say is, it was actually got really cool. Like, it's little lines to catch out. It shows his vast interest in different things. And overall, he raps as consistently as he's been doing on the rest of this fucking album. So I give it a 4.4.
The only line I really liked was the KKK clan line. Okay, I'm ironclad, obey the giant man, KKK, I'll take out an entire clan. That was really just kind of stand out to me. Everything else on the track follows suit. You kind of covered everything. The Akon line was also cool. I like how greetings, I'm from another planet, sleeping for a while, but I don't want another Xanax. Landed on this planet from a UFO. My cape's on, feeling like my life's from Mr. Like, I like the bars. They're good. Okay, this is cool. It's a 4. I don't actually have anything to say.
Alright, that's fine. I'm not gonna lie. This album is very consistent. So in a lot of cases, if you're not really looking at the particular lines, you might come off on your first listen like, damn, this is a lot of the same thing. But I really think it's a little bit more than that, and there is some nuance to the emotion that he's putting forward to it. Anyway, the next track on this project, number 10, is called No Separation. So having people who can really sing well do the choruses is a very good move for Madchild, in my opinion. Like, this hook is really a powerful one on this album. I think is really enjoyable. So what's the difference between a prince and a pauper, a hunter or a flower boy, the world to the nation? There's no separation. Oh God, let you rain down proudly. I break down to my knees. I need some answers, please. And I think, you listen to that and it's kind of pointing out, at the end of the day, no matter what your station is in life, who you're at, where you are, or whatever, from the perspective of God and the rain, what's the fucking difference, We all get wet together. And then, I don't know, the beat's kind of like more of that deep and pensive, and you're supposed to get all like feeling in it and whatnot. And then from the rapping perspective, okay, I'm coming back to murder them all clowning on me, got the rain pouring down while I'm down on my knees, I'm soul searching to the sound of the speed, because I don't want to look up and feel them frowning on me. And I'm
like that.
Damn, he's kind of rapping about looking up at God and like trying to find some solace in like the middle of this darkness, because this beat's kind of inspiring him and shit, I'm the hardest of misfits with a Spartan's existence, rapping like it's Christmas and snapping because I'm gifted, King Shark with the body of a Hulk, don't bother bothering me, I cause bodily assault.
Hey, bars.
And it's just like my blood bleed red, supreme backpack, bitch. I don't wait in line. We get fast track, and it's almost like,
Florida Walt Disney World fast track.
yep. Or even out of the road, you got the fast track.
Yeah, it's called something else, but it's the same thing.
I think it's fast track.
Or is it fast pass? I think it's like the fast pass or
Okay,
something.
whatever. So all I'm
It's the
trying
same
to,
concept.
yeah. So like, I like the way he flows over it. I like the rhymes. I feel like he's really kind of going a little bit more lyrical, flowing it proper on that like slower things. And
I like the line, did so much acid, I get too many flashbacks. I know, like, somebody who's done a lot of acid, and it's, like, in a way, creepy, but interesting to have conversations with this person, the way they kind of, everything you may do or everything you may kind of talk about brings them to this next, like, fucked up level. So I just kind of knew what he was coming from. In a way, I knew where he was coming from for that, so I thought that was a cool line.
fair enough. Yeah, I mean, he's got lines like the greatest warrior, I'm Braveheart, bitch. First of all, it's William fucking Wallace, okay? Good movie, though. Amazing movie. Plus, riding every night like it's a graveyard shift. I kill 'em all, crushing small barn, wheels spinning in my head with rusty ball bearings. You know, I'm kind of left with a similar feeling as I have for the rest of the album. This is really well written shit. When I think about the song, I think the chorus really carries it. And Madchild's alright on it, the beat's alright on it, but I don't know that outside of the chorus, this one really ensnares me so much. I think it's a well-made track. The mixing and stuff is dope. The mixing on this album is actually really good. He's very clear on every song. The beats always sound proper. Kudos to the sound engineers. They did a really good job on this project. I get this a 4.25. I don't know if it's maybe just because I feel like it's been a lot of the same thing so far, and it's hard for me to keep getting into the same subject matter, but it's a good version of the song, and I don't know. I feel like, yeah, 4.25 is what I was left with on this one.
I give it a 4.2 because I do like the break with the sing-songy feel. I like the chorus on it, so I do enjoy that. But I do agree that the verses are solid. They are exactly what Madchild does, at least so far from what I'm seeing on the project, and they're consistent. So.
No, I mean, like, this one has this, like, God perspective, too, and, like, there is nuanced differences. I'm not trying to imply that they're all the same songs. I do think this one's more pensive and maybe less I'm the best fucking rapper, but it still kind of boils down to he's a great fucking rapper that's talented, and then the other stuff surrounding that is a little bit different.
He's also, self-aware, and he's also kind of bringing the same type of emotions and the same type of things that he's been talking about on the other tracks. It's just another version of something we've already kind of gotten. So 4.2.
That's okay. To change up the vibe a little bit, I'm going to quote a song that will insert the title of the next one. Follow the leader, 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 follow the leader. Follow the leader. It's called Follow, but follow the leader. Is that not a hype song?
It is.
All right. So what's really amazing is when it goes up, down, everybody up, down, and now one hand in the air and turn to the left, to the right, left, right. Follow the leader, leader. No, I did look up the lyrics to Follow the Leader just so I could start that off like that. That is the lyrics to that other song. But we're here to talk about Follow by Madchild, which is an endearing song.
It's a positive inspiration
That's
song.
really like just follow your fucking dreams and just keep doing you, because if you kind of stick with your dreams and your focus, you'll achieve it. And it's got some like stark like fucking realism in it, like somewhere where he's like, I've been rapping for fucking ever, it didn't just fucking happen.
You expect overnight success? I've been rapping half my life. That's
Now take a close look at me hard. If I can do it, you can do it, and I'm a fucking retard. I mean,
can we say that?
I don't know. I just did because I'm quoting him. But like, I think he can get away with it. I was working at Subway thinking to myself that I gotta make it someday. I just finished being homeless. My grandma took me in, having problems with the family and not too many friends. My girlfriend who just broke my heart. Yeah, the same one. No money, no car, man, the same fun. But I was writing every day, freestyling at the bus stops.
Wait, the same girlfriend or the same heart?
I think it's the same girlfriend that he's talked about in the past.
Right. Yeah.
My life's a joke and this must stop. Broke as shit. How can I get everyone to open with my raps? I was focusing, and he just kind of like describing like his hardships and shit versus all of his like desires to like make it through there. And I don't know. I really felt that like this was the really good change of pace that should have come a little bit earlier in the project. But like everything about this song is kind of his little story of some of the real struggle that he had to get into, selling some weed, taking chances, trying to get some money together to like figure out a way to like get his shit together and whatnot. And then at the end of the day, he pulls it all off. He got the secret to success. He makes a 5-year plan. And what's cool about that idea is that pretty much everybody that's successful will tell you all about visualizing, creating a 5 to 10 year plan, working backwards, and you'll understand exactly like, so if in 10 years you want to be a list person, who do you have to be in 9 years? And who do you have to be in 8 years? And then you go look at that and you work your way backwards and you'll find out what you have to do next year to get to that place. So it just, the idea is no matter who you are, you can make that plan and you can work towards that dream because over a 5-year period of time, you can accomplish a fuck ton of stuff. And I really felt that, again, it had the stark realism, everything else going into it, but it was nice. It was like nice to just get something different from him on this project, like a drastically different song. So I gave it a 4.35 on 5.
This actually got a 4.5 for me. I really like this. Now, I just want to like contextualize how I feel with this, right? It's not really just like the lyrics themselves, all right? It's again this you can do it, this positive feeling, this I believe in, you know, my fans and for the kids who feel like they have nothing and I believe in you guys to follow your dreams and make it out and build success and achieve. And again, he uses his experiences and his story to kind of give us some insight on how he made it. But I don't feel like he's telling us to, you know, go sell weed and do this and this. It's just go do other things that maybe you might have to do in your field or in your lane or however it is. But I really felt like this was a different change, a different pace, a different feel to the album, which I mean, I get that. I guess the album's supposed to be dark and demonic and all this stuff, but like it's nice to have I guess it was refreshing to have a little bit of a breath air in terms of something different. So
totally refreshing.
I put it a 4.5, and I do agree with you. I think this should have been somewhere a little bit earlier.
Like some
just
people
to cut the tension, maybe
like,
halfway.
I get that some people might want to hear like the same kind of song over and over and over again, but I don't think that like any of the legendary albums that really lasted the test of the time were so static. Pretty much everything that was like considered a classic to some point had a pretty solid degree of variable subject matter that got explored on the project. Even if half the album is just flexing, there'd still be that other half that had storytelling, that had this, that had that. And I think it's really important, you know, to create an engaging album that will listen over time. And I feel like Madchild's got a lot of the way there on this project, but in a sense, up until this point, we may have had like 3 distinct subject matters, and that was, I don't know, let's say 9 songs of the project. And so I'm not trying to shit on Madchild. He's extremely good at what he does. It's just not, that isn't super engaging to me compared to some other stuff. Like it makes me kind of wonder what he can do next, or like where's the stories. That's something that I feel like we need a lot more of on this project, with some stories, you know. Anyway, that's totally fine. There's still a few more tracks on this album and a good story one to come. In the meantime, why don't we talk about Cold Blooded? Why is like the beat saying this distorted shit you can barely hear, like
Sounds like some type of like chant.
But like he's saying words I heard the one I had the headphones on. I could hear it clearly, but now I couldn't hear it, and I didn't write it down, so I don't know what he said. Sorry. But like, man, it's like, I don't know how I feel about this beat. Like, I'm not like the biggest fan of like voices in a beat in general. Like, I tend to avoid that for myself. I think they're like okay. Sometimes they can be done right, but like that's all the hook was the voices in this beat kind of doing their little chanty thing.
Well, right, but I think that this whole that's why I said it's a kind of like a chant. This whole song is just kind of 3 verses. Kind of take it as like 3 phrases, 3 paragraphs, 3 what are they called?
I don't know.
Like the sections of like a poem or something.
Like
And
there's stanzas? Is that what you meant? Stanzas?
Anyway, no, I
Verses?
don't think it's that. But anyway, the point is, I feel like he spits his first. In the background, people are kind of chanting, and they're kind of like putting him on this pedestal, and they're like summoning the god demon of whatever. And he just kind of does his first verse, says what he has to say. They chant, they chant, they chant. Second verse, they chant, because there's not even a chorus or a hook to really break up the whole verse part. So I feel like the theme of this is just like, again, more bars. I'm better than you. This is who I am. Like, first one, I'm a soldier, you're a farmer with a pitchfork, John Wick, kill every assassin on the switchboard, expert at exerting text words with texture, absurd, I axe murder tracks like I'm Dexter. It's dope, for sure. Bars are fire, the wordplay is cool, the way he's like following the drums and he's really like, Dexter, like kind of getting into it is dope. But like, it's just more bars, very consistent, very, verse. Something I actually liked in verse 2 was fucked up so many times, let God forgive me, thank God I can spit a 616, drug money, rap money ain't worth 616. Now I like that realization, like, I went from doing this and this to spitting actual bars, being able to craft these like masterpieces or whatnot and be able to make profit off of it, so I don't have to be in that type of life anymore. That's cool. Verse 3, he starts off with 130,000 on my whip, wearing ripped jeans. 100,000 on my other whip, making quick cream. Okay, so now we talk about money. And that was basically the whole song. I liked it. I thought it was cool. I kind of enjoyed the whole chanty feel and everything. But there wasn't really much to this more than that. I left it with a 4.2.
And it's fine. I mean, this is one of my least favorite ones on this project. I mean, it's still well done. Like, it meets all the basic checklists of a good song. Well mixed, the beat's alright, the rapping's on point, nothing's like bad about it. There's nothing goofy, nothing in the lyrics or whatever. I mean, so bloody reckless. If I don't write things that are not very promising, not many strong him, but not lots of common sense. Shit caught a mill on Japanese garmentry. Did more pills in the back of a pharmacy. Spectacle, skeptical, replicas blocked out, put me in the ring. That's a technical knockout. It's good rhymes. If you're into that, like, super battle rappy style of shit. It's flossy. It's alright, but I feel like of all the ones that we've done, I feel like, I don't know, I'd much rather listen to like a Watergate or a, something like that, or Times Change was pretty cool too. I don't know. I get the purpose of this song. I just don't think it's all that fly. I think it's too honest. He's too honest about his life. Like, it's not fake fly where it's almost fun to listen to because it's fantastical. It's like super honest, real fly where it's like, yo, you got like a really good honesty to you. On the other hand, I don't know. Maybe what I'm saying is coming off negative or critical, and that's not really what I'm trying to do. I'm not as into this because it just kind of is like a vapid version of good writing to me. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not like next level to me. There's not anything here that I'm really connecting with. That's fine. I don't have a lot more to say. I give it a 4.1. I recognize it's decent. It's well made. And I could see how a lot of other people, like, I feel like this might be for like his core fans that are wanting that grimy ass Madchild to come in and just slay some shit. That's cool. I understand the point of something like this. Anyway, you have anything more to say on this one?
No.
Well, the next one is called Soiled in Regret. See, I feel like this one's already better. It's got like a more fun energy to it. You're kind of boiling through it. It's cool. It's like, it's fun murdering words that are blood curdling, but now you must live under a rock if you ain't heard of them. Like, Madchild, come on, let's be real, dude. You're a Canadian rapper. Like, I just want to put things in context. A lot of people in the underground are going to know who you are, because as far as Canadian underground rappers go, you got it, dog. You are like probably one of the most famous there is. But you're a Canadian rapper in the underground. A lot of people haven't heard of you, and they're probably not living under rocks because of that. I'm just saying. I get it. It's supposed to be like a fly rhyme, like I'm dope and you should know who I am and shit. But like, Canada's hip hop scene isn't that big of a disarray, in my opinion. So anyway, Madchild, I don't need a shoulder to cry on. I talk soft and I walk with a firearm. I just need to put in work and I will flourish. I'm hungry. I'm snapping on these tracks like I'm malnourished. No more light to these fakes and these hoes. Making cake off my name, now the bakery's closed. Like the rest of the verse though, that's actually really fucking nice, man. He's calm, he's coming in through, he's ready to do anything he's gotta do to make it work. He's hungry, he's pretending like he's pretending like he's hit his most desperate, like he's gotta come in, he's not letting people take advantage of him no more, you know? And it's like it's fun gathering words. I'm staying ravenous. Words we playing savages, you know, like just feel like this energy coming through, like he's vicious. Like you believe it a lot more, I feel, on this song, you know?
Not just vicious, but I also feel like there's this aspect of him finding some type of peace in terms of building this puzzle of words and making them fit together. And in this way, he's kind of like showing you, like, this is how I try to maintain my sanity. This is how I, you know, try to fight the demons or whatnot.
But it's even the rhymes are just more fun. Like, time to catch a red-eye flight, black hoodie on my head, like a Jedi Knight.
That's a dope way to...
Aren't you just like sitting there going like, yeah, I can't help it.
That's a dope way to say he's smoking a joint.
Yeah, but it's also like at the same time, like he's catching a midnight flight, you know, so that's a red eye. But he's also just got his hoodie on, cause motherfucking Jetty's got hoods on.
Jetties?
Jedis. Do some stupid shit again, you can bet I might. 200 shows straight and my head ain't right. I'm just grinding, I'm working, I'm doing all that shit. I like this one, man. Automatic weapon and my firepower, murk 'em. Fuck these Satan rappers, a higher power lurking. Met so many fake people that I stopped mingling. I'm burning every rapper out, chopped, kindling. Woo! Because kindling is like the little, like, fucking wood things used for a fire, and then he's gonna burn the rappers because he's like the kindling and he sets the flame up. He's fired like a motherfucker. He's so fired, he's got a red 1 and a 0 and a 0 with a line under it next to 3 flame emojis. He's that legit, bro.
So I like the self-aware line of hard to be a leader when your ass don't function, followers don't know you're on a path of destruction, self-sabotage shit, I'm a savage god. It's like, that is hard-hitting a lot more than I think people think, or at least I believe, because it's so self-aware that, like, maybe some artists in the mainstream that have high fan bases and some of the rappers that are really, 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 you know, popular should kind of take from this line and kind of realize that some of their followers are blindly following them and they don't actually realize how dangerous it could be. That's just my opinion. No names. But that was really cool to me. That was actually something like, holy shit, we really need to think about who we decide to follow, and we really need to think about who you want to, you know, kind of model yourself after. So that was super cool. I left the song with a 4.2. Everything else was just, you know, the same, not trying to be negative.
I had a 4.25. I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. My favorite part of the song, though, was at the end when he goes, I don't know, man. I think I like this one better than the last one. And I agreed with him. I really do like this one better than the last one. But you know what I like better than this one? I like the next one. Let's talk about Forget About You. This is fucking great. This is the best song on the album. This is like, I didn't know you had it in you, Madchild. And then you did this. And it set a new standard for this album that made me like, that's part of why some of those other grades are less good. Because this is that amazing. It's, first of all, the soft freshness of the guitar coming in. You're like, okay.
Right, take this away.
It's very different.
Take this away.
She's doing this little singy. All I want to do is forget about you. All I want to do is get you out of my head. And I'm like, is he actually killing his hook? He is. He's killing that hook. Oh, baby, it's not your fault. It just wasn't meant to be. And I'm like, he killed the hook. He did it. I'm going crazy. How could you leave me? Do anything to get you back. Please believe me. And he's got like that poppy, happy, zippy voice to it, which we have not heard that on this album.
I give it to you.
Absolutely not. Because you make my life complete. Now I'm losing weight and I don't like to eat. Sent you flowers and a stuffed animals. What? You didn't get them? You better not be fucking someone or you'll both regret it. I know I'm pathetic. Everything is copacetic. It could really get to me, but I won't let it. You're so cute and sweet and petite. I think about you with other guys and beat my meat. I guess I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was mean to you. And I'm like, So it's like this goofy song about this guy who lost a girl. And he's really going.
A guy or him?
He is the guy who
Okay,
lost
good.
his girl,
Some
and he's
rando
just like
dude telling him
obsessed
his
with
fucking
this like
story.
fucking girl, and to the point where he's like tripping and he's like trying to get her back and stuff. And he's so obsessed with her that the thought of her fucking other people is enough to like get him going. And then going right into that like bridge. I guess I'm sorry, I was mean to you. I never meant to make you sad.
How's this like, you know?
If I had the chance to change my ways, I'd probably stay the same.
punkish.
Don't ask me to apologize, because I'm a piece of shit.
2000 feel.
All I want to do is forget about you. No, but like, it's just more that, like, from a songwriting perspective, it's got the bridges, the hooks.
Yes,
The bridges
yes.
is like, they're all hooky and bridgy.
Yes.
The verses are well constructed, moving the story along. Like, boy, it didn't take for long for you to bounce right back. Me, I look like I smoked an ounce of crap. I can't get hum. Never been in such a slump. It's like every girl I meet can tell I just got dumb. I get head from hookers, but it's just not the same. I sit alone in my car and write and think about how you told me not to call you again. Can't escape it. I'm always in pain. Working out helps. Hit the sauna after. Rifle to your trash can. Looking at night, looking for condom wrappers. Maybe we'd be better off if one of us was dead. I'll flip a coin, heads or tails. I'll let you know how it went. This reminds me of like when Eminem could do like the I'm a psycho crazy obsessive girl song, but like pull it off and it was hilarious.
Right.
And this is the first time I've heard anybody pull it off and be fucking funny and fresh and like he's just so pathetic. He's not dangerous in this song. And
Fair
like
enough.
the fact that he's owning it, like in a sense, you can almost picture this actually might have happened. I'm not saying it did, Madchild. Shane, if you're watching this, I'm not saying it did. But like it's believable that it could have happened given the character he's presented us to this whole album.
Yes.
But I think it's just like a goofy stepping into it and like, you know, just picturing, oh shit, what if he has a bigger dick? And right now he's dicking her down with his iPhone taking pics. Let's see, I need a knife, rope, and a masking tape. Part of me would like to see her fuck him while I masturbate. Did I just say that out loud? I think I could use a new girl right about now. And the thing that makes this song truly remarkable is I don't know a single guy that when they're in their heartbroken, I want her back phase, doesn't think and act in their mind that stupid.
Are we okay?
This has nothing to do with you.
No. This has nothing to do with me. But I just want to make sure what hill we are dying on.
Nobody's dying on a hill. I'm saying that as dudes, when you miss her, you're like, it's okay. When you miss her and you want her back.
But I'm not sitting here like, oh my god, I miss you so much. I want to like beat my meat while you fuck your next man.
You're not. But imagine you were to crank that up a little bit for the sake of a song. Yeah, now next thing you know, you're beating your meat. Or maybe you're so into her that the idea of it, you can't even help it because she's involved and it's not like a happy one. You're like, and you're just like beating your meat while crying over her. Either way, this song is great. As far as the songs go, I think it showed the best level of songwriting on the album. The highest level of interest on the album, and damn, I just wasn't expecting it, man. I felt like I was being kind of miserable, and then this shit, just like, I was like, this is great. This isn't just good. This is Tony the Tiger fucking great. That's right. Big Daddy Kane made a Tony the Tiger reference recently that we heard. So, you don't like it?
Okay, it's not that I don't like it. The honest truth is I didn't care at this point. Unfortunately, at this point in the album, I was just like, I went this long to get something that was almost completely storytelling, full on like different animated life, and I even when I reviewed this project twice, even the second time around, I was just like, I don't actually care. I like the quirkiness, the goofiness, and everything he does with it. I just didn't. There was no like error. Sorry. So I left it with a 4. I do give him his credit for it. I do, admire and respect what he can do, and it's lively. It's got life. It's got all of these fun things. I just wasn't really in the mood either time. So
that's fair. The song is amazing, and you should check it out. I would call it a standout song on this album. Okay, so why don't we talk about the stuff that Elon Musk uses to spend rockets to space in SpaceX?
Did you see that?
Well, there's plenty of them.
I saw the recent one, the Arab side. That was cool to watch.
Bonnie works for a company from Israel that launched a satellite to the moon and failed to get there. They crashed onto the moon and just added to the rubble.
I don't know if that was the Arab side, but I just
No,
watched
that was another one. But then
Okay.
SpaceX also had another one recently.
Yes,
That's right. Fuck NASA. They're not doing shit. Private corporations.
Watch it. It's so cool.
I felt like really dope. Like honestly, watching rockets and stuff. Like I don't know how y'all let like you as in like you 45-year-old.
Did you see the self-landing boosters?
All I'm trying to say is you guys in their 40s and shit. How the hell did you let rockets not be a priority? Like how did you guys not care about space?
Boosters.
Like I don't understand it. Y'all just let this happen. Anyway, we need more space shit because it's dope. All right, let's talk about rocket fuel. So Prevail's dope. This felt like I was listening to some good old-fashioned Swollen Membersy goodness.
Only one Swollen Member song I know, but I can't remember it.
Swollen always brings it. Oh, we went through this fucking earlier. This is how we started the podcast.
I know, but I didn't like.
Or
Another one.
Swollen members gonna make our mark. Take a minute, we'll remember who takes the top.
Maybe.
It's hot shit. He says it's hot shit a whole bunch of times. Or anyway, then there's another Furtado one, Breathe or whatever. Anyway, there's a lot of Swollen member songs. But this one has it just starts off. My name is Prevail, and I'm like, that's bold, doing the spelling out your name move. I got to get this off my chest. I got a story to tell. If you rebel against the status quo, my savage flow is not for the average, though. They don't know from the bow to the arrow, through flesh and bone and marrow. I'll shoot you out the skyline like I was aiming at a sparrow. It's not the hardest shit I've ever heard, but damn does it flow nice and do I enjoy listening to it. Prevail fucking does a good job on this verse. It's fun to listen to, you know. I'll fully automatically eradicate your name. My affidavit is a favorite while you fabricate your fame. I bash these littles bastard while I try to change the lane. Pass it in a plane, a locomotive when I'm overloaded, colder than a minus 40 night. You know I wrote it. That's how you know he's fucking Canadian. Because we know what the fuck that means. That shit's cold. We get -4. And that's Celsius, motherfuckers. That's not no Fahrenheit, okay? Celsius. It's colder. Actually, I think at -50, both of them hit the same number. I digress. Then Madchild comes in. One thing I can't say is I am the smartest. That's fair. He's not the smartest, but don't worry about a thing because we band the hardest. Show up at your show and you're gang departed. We don't diss kids. Already disregarded. One thing I can say is I am retarded. I don't think you can say that in 2019, Madchild. Even if you might be, I don't think you can say that. We don't worry about a thing because we band the hardest. Well, he's not worried about it. Anyway, then Madchild does his verse.
Oh, he's not worried about it. Fuck it.
Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, everybody who's paying attention knows.
Social justice warriors go.
It's not just that. I mean, it's not a social justice issue. There's a reason why people are saying don't say retarded.
Fair enough.
It's because it's a derogatory term in the same slew as everything else for a group of people. So yes, you could look at it like it's a social justice issue. I look at it like it's a common decency issue. You either want to be an asshole or you don't. So I think Madchild's made it clear he doesn't want to be an asshole anymore. Just throwing it out there. Maybe it's not the smartest thing. But that's okay, because he can carry the load. He's got the heaviest sword. His shit'll never be the same. Like
Is that how you say that word?
It's a way of saying it. My shit'll never be the same like 70s porn. I ain't trying to go pop, motherfucker. I'm too cold. Already know the prize. It's a bucket of fool's gold. Keep your eyes up for a poisonous snakes. If all dogs go to heaven, then my homies are straight. It's fine. It's like totally fine. It's a little goofy to me, but I fucking find it fun, alright? These other rappers suck. Guilty as charged. Time flying, so you'll never see me lollygag. These rappers lying. They're afraid to take a polygraph. Madchild's dope on that stupid and that shit. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know if this is actually good or if I just really like it because he's fucking dead serious about rapping the word lollygag. It's actually dope. All Dogs Go to Heaven's a good movie, alright? It's a heart warmer and shit.
It is.
All I'm trying to say is this song is alright. I really enjoyed this. I gave this track a 4.35. It was dope.
I gave the song a 4.2. It has energy. It's all lively. It's bar filled, so I mean it's cool. Prevail did well for having a different feature on the track who's rapping. Did well.
But it's a weird thing. It would be like take any duo you've ever heard of and then featuring the guy that's your duo.
Right?
It's not just a random guy. It's like his
For
boy.
me, it's random though. Like, it's my first actual project. I can't even fucking remember Swollen members, to tell you the truth. So this is...
That's on you.
That
You're a
is
bad
on me.
Canadian.
Well, I was young at the time.
Swollen. Okay, go on.
But the point is, it's a good song. I left it with a 4.2. At this point, like, I'm having that...
You have to go home and listen to Lady Venom.
I'll go home and listen to Lady Venom. But at this point, on this album, more bars. Awesome.
Like, Prevail has classic bars like, we built a foundation, brick by brick, eye for eye, keep your eyes on this. That's from Bring It Home. Anyway, go on.
How was it? 4.2?
All right, we bring it in. The terror. Okay, I have very mixed feelings here. I don't even know where to start. Sam Nider, gorgeous hook. The terror song, absolutely banger.
Yep.
Like, this is one of the strongest fucking songs on the project. And I suppose if you're going to end out your album, smart move. But Madchild, it's 2019. Let's have a conversation here. There is a portion of your audience that's going to buy some discs, put that CD in their compact disc player, get to the last song, play it all the way through, hear that 30, 40 seconds of silence, and then get smacked with that bonus track. Bro, it's 2019. I looked at that. The silence came. I looked at the track length. I said, oh, did he really skip it ahead a bit? He did. He did. I made a video on the history of fucking hidden tracks, okay? Basically, streaming services killed this particular move because it's just awkward. If you want to listen to, like, that song, it comes on and then you have to scroll over it. It works on CDs because of, like, that surprise factor.
Because you have to go to the CD. Like, let's say if you're walking around or whatever, you have the time. It's like...
Or, like, you would forget about it, or, like, it would end and you would just think it ended and maybe you weren't able to change it. And then, oh, there's this surprise. Or especially if you never, like, let it play before in a couple of times. I mean, that was an experience. Anyway, so Madchild did that. Which actually was just weird for me.
I thought it was kind of cool in terms of, like, authentic or, like, old school hip hop.
No.
Like, I thought it was like...
This isn't just a hip hop thing. Everybody did it. Like, everybody.
So he is bringing it back.
It's not something to bring back.
I'm not... Listen. I'm not saying...
Compact discs are over. It's done. We've moved past that part of life. If you're an independent rapper, there's very small opportunities that on your first album you should be buying fucking discs to be pushing. Now, if you can sell to the streets, do the disc thing. If you a corporate America fucker like me, just do the digital thing and don't do this shit. Just nobody should do this shit.
Is there a way that you can, like, change the time length and actually surprise people?
Not in a digital format, in my opinion. But, I mean, there is a hidden track, and you can, like, listen to it. But it's just fucking weird. I just think it's a weird thing to do in 2019. Anyway, so the first song, it's all right. He comes in, he got that, like, bridge, like, the nights are blind and polarized, sober lies, terror. And this girl definitely is not wearing a bra in the video, as she's in the TV. She doesn't have to wear a bra. She's not the... I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It's just, I sometimes wonder who's more fortunate, the ladies that have to wear a bra because they're so large, or the ladies that have the small ones that don't have to wear a bra. I mean, think about the economic savings on bras. At like $40 a bra times X over life, if you can get away without having to wear bras a lot, you save a lot of money. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, and then Madchild comes in and his rap's just fucking proper. Terrorized until it's paralyzed, and take a look into my soul, very scary eyes. You can see the experience, it is agonizing. When I was younger, I was cocky and antagonizing. Broke the wall, I'm mean to happy, that's surprising. I watched the phoenix from the ashes rising. Ah, it's good. He just fucking spits out his shit, his heart and soul, and he's fucking flowing over this excellent beat. The second verse is the same kind of thing, you know? Spit so cold on my ice culture. Fuck with my culture, you'll see flying vultures. Truth is blinding like a light, so I lived in darkness, fell down the rabbit hole. Empty soul becomes heartless. Flows it through, and it's just kind of that. And it ends like he's so authentic and legitimate that he brings in that shit, and that's what creates the terror. And it's powerful. His experiences, his past. Then there's a bunch of silence. So I get that song a 4.75. It would have got a 5 if it wasn't for the hidden track thing. I'm actually punishing this song for this bullshit. How do you feel about the first part of the song?
It was good. I like the girl on the track. I like the hook. It's just, it's a banger track. If this was somewhere in the middle,
No, it's a great closer without the bonus track.
okay, fine. I'll give it to him. It is a great closer without the with or without. It's a great closer. It's just for me. This is just a better version of whatever song I just listened to that talked about your past struggle and your twisted thoughts and how you live in terror. So that's kind of where I sat on it. I was like, no, this is really good. And the production and the mixing and the voices and even the music video is good. And the way they have like the camera and the recording and the popping and the nod and this and that, it's great. But I'm just like, this is the better version of what I just got. What I did give credit to was the Sneak song, and only because the first time I reviewed it, I completely forgot it was 5 minutes, so I just, like, at the 34-second, I cut the whole...
You got tricked on a digital service.
I got tricked because I wasn't paying attention. No, but hold on.
What a way to invalidate everything I just said, eh? Thanks, Chris.
Listen. I got tricked because... when I reviewed it, because I was listening to it on the way here, and at the last track, I was like, all right, well, that's, kind of feel the same way. I kind of feel all this, and then it just hit me, and I went, oh.
Myself, that's all that really matters to me.
Yes, I am the loser that I got tricked on a digital
it's
thing.
Fine. But that's the next one comes in. It's this whole. What would you give the first part?
I gave the whole thing a 4.3. I didn't give it 2 parts. I took it as one thing.
Separate grades because the second song comes in and it's actually all right. I'm conceited, got a big ego. My personalities are like where he goes, we go. Stay with my people. I'm not a selfish guy. I let go for me, myself, and I. Too many problems with the outside world to list. Why they gotta be like that when I'm like this? Follow my lead and pay attention to me so I can finally fucking be what I'm pretending to be. You should concentrate on making life better than me. Anyway, it's just kind of that. And there's a second verse. That's why I'm never by myself in a place that's crowded. I'm paranoid. Can you blame us? I ain't trying to take some bullets to get famous. And overall, it's just a egocentric song about how he's fucking vain. And that's the second one. So I give it a 4.35 because it's not as good as Terror, but it really ruined Terror's ending of the album with this little bonus track. That should have just been a bonus track. Put as bonus and come on the deluxe edition like every other motherfucker does. Anyway, that's this project, I guess. Unless you have thoughts on the bonus track.
No, the bonus track was okay.
So I gave this album a 4.35 on 5. Like, I think it's pretty solid. I think it's got really well written raps. His hooks are very hit or miss. You're either gonna like them or not. I think when he's on with a hook, it's fucking fire. I think when he features for the hook, it's a good move. His rapping is super consistent throughout the whole project. If you like it, you're gonna fucking love it. If you're on the fence about it, you might have songs you like. If you don't like it on the first couple of songs, try like the first 4 or 5, and then you're probably not gonna like the rest of it if you still don't. My only real criticism is I think he could be a little more interesting, and to take his stories and his imagination and to really go one step more with it than what he's been doing here. I mean, I love the honesty side and the reflective stuff, but I feel like we just dabbled on things the whole way through. We didn't really go deep into anything, and I would love to see Madchild go deep into some real shit, because I bet his story could change lives if he really like went out with this more. If he can stick with his like up and up path that he appears to be on, I think he can really do a lot of interesting things with his lyrics.
Nice. Overall, the album came to a 4.13 with me. I liked it. I think that it was a cool album to review in terms of a new artist. I've never really actually went on Madchild, his own solo thing. So, but this, I don't think this is an album that I'm gonna be rushing back to or like going to a specific song on this. I feel like I could put any song and I would basically have heard the album. And I don't say that in like a bad way. It's just how I'm taking it. It's not like I'm going to be sitting there like, ooh, which one do I want to listen first? Because besides the 4 that are different, I could just pick one and it's practically the same. that's just my opinion. He is a very good artist. He does have lyrical proficiency, and the way he builds the puzzles with the words is just really great. But I stand where I stand.
Fair enough. Thank y'all for watching. We totally appreciate you being here with us. Feel free to hit us up in the comments and give us your thoughts on anything in particular. And yeah, if you make that effort to leave a comment, I'll make that effort to answer you. Before we leave up, I want to give a special thanks to the patrons: Ismail Gadamsi, Chris Prado, Linda Williams, DJ Black Hurricane, and Jonathan Barnes. They support what we do. They helped us get a new camera. They basically, support us, and they get to tell us what albums they want to see us review every couple of weeks. They pick it. They get access to content early when we're on time with it, and as we flush out the channel, they'll get some extra also interesting perks that we'll invent in the future. In the meantime, yeah, if you're not down for that, feel free to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, feel free to leave the comments. We can have a little conversation. I dropped a project recently. It's all on the channel, and I'm going to be I finished recording the full version of it. It was like the little EP version, and the full version's coming later on this year. So finally finished recording that. You can check out a little sample now. And yeah, why don't you let me know what you think of that? And it's on Bandcamp and Spotify and shit too. Also SoundCloud. Anyway, let me know what you think, and we'll be back with more shit soon. So have yourselves a wonderful evening, day, whenever you're watching this. Peace. Take care.